I'm not one to come up on the internet and cry, but I'm really emotional right now. I just made the choice to transfer money out of savings so that I could pay off one final credit card. I have $1,600 on a balance transfer card, and I'm gonna pay it off tomorrow, which means that my debt is now under $5,000. I don't know why I'm so emotional. I just have been dealing with debt for so long, for so many years, and to find out that I only have 5 credit card payments left, 5. When I began this journey, I had close to $50,000 worth of credit card debt, and I didn't start tracking what I owed until after I'd already been making payments, so I'm willing to bet you that my debt was over $50,000. Over the past 15 months, I've been able to pay off $45,000 worth of debt, and I genuinely would not have been able to do that without you guys, so I just need you to understand that, like, this isn't just my debt, this is our debt at this point. Sorry, Gomez saw me crying and now he wants to... It's impossible to be sad when you have a dog like this. But yeah, as of tomorrow, we will be under $5,000 worth of credit card debt. And on May 15th, we will be 100% done. On Friday, I'm also filming a fucking talk show. I have a talk show appearance. I'm not gonna say what it is until after I film, but I get to share my story with millions of new people. If there's anything that I could say to someone who's just starting out in their debt journey, it's don't give up. I don't know why I keep bursting into tears, but living with debt is so traumatic. It's so traumatic. It's so hard. It's a constant drain on your psyche. I haven't known life without debt since I was in college, and I'm just so excited for what my financial future looks like. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, thank you all for being here, and I genuinely could not have done this without you.
I have $63,000 of debt, and I still travel, eat at restaurants, donate to causes I care about, visit coffee shops, spoil my cats. I made a debt payoff plan and budget exactly how much I need to reach my debt payoff goals each month and not a penny more. Financial goals should be shaped around your life, not become your life. Restriction can work short term, but it's not a sustainable or healthy way to live. For me, this means living within my means, budgeting in my financial goals, and not feeling guilty for spending what's left over.
Let's talk money. I'm 30 years old and I am in debt. I feel really vulnerable saying that, but the first step is getting over that shame. And if I can help at least one person in a similar position feel like they're not as alone in this, then it is all worth it. I have always had a bad relationship with money. I live paycheck to paycheck, spending compulsively, buying things that bring me joy in the moment, but not in the long run. I made the mistake of taking out credit cards, using store credit, Klarna, ClearPay, you name it, I've used it. I've always had this view that I need to spend money in order to enjoy myself and have a good life. But the reality is that it's all a temporary fix, and that instant gratification that I feel won't make me happy in the long run. With big life events coming up, such as my wedding next year, I can no longer ignore it, so join me on my journey to being debt-free. From this moment on, all unnecessary purchases are banned, such as clothes, takeaways, all that good stuff. But I'm going to try and show you that life can be lived on a budget, and hopefully I can provide some inspo along the way for some low-cost things to do and prove that we don't need to spend loads of money to live a happy life.
When you get out of debt, I'm just letting you know right now, it shows. That same part of you that kind of liked being able to show off with the money and the pool and doing all those things, that same part of you.
Credit card is a very, very big problem. So what is a credit card? A credit card is something that gives you buying power. When some of us were growing up, we used to know about something called buying power, and the store will tell you that you have this much buying power, which basically it means you have this amount of maximum limit that you are willing, that the store or whoever or the bank that you are willing to spend. So credit card is a very big problem because it's basically you having the ability to purchase something without actually having money in the bank. And where more we see these kind of videos is that people are actually struggling to pay up in terms of credit card debt, and their debt just keeps accumulating, because the problem is that the more that you seem to pay up in time, the reward seems kind of backwards. The more you continue to pay up in time, the more they increase your limit and giving you more option to be able to buy more, and you're increasing more debt so that you pay more. Because the more they increase the limit, it actually doesn't benefit you. Yes, it may feel like it benefits you because now you have all this money that you can use to purchase, but at the end of the day you also increasing in terms of the repayment. And many of these videos are really sad because it's people who are actually, they don't seem happy just because they've these large amounts of repayments. So yeah, these are very interesting videos to see, and the more we watch them, I will actually also share in terms of my thoughts in this and what we can learn as people so that we can make better choices to be able to live a much happier life and also be less in debt and actually be more debt free.
Hey y'all, it's Pretty Girl Sophie. I want to tell you guys, as a 19-year-old with $45,000 in debts alone, y'all, please don't get a finance car. Literally, y'all. I have a Jeep, 2021 Jeep. I bought back in 2023. I financed that shit for $46,000, right? I'm like, I really want, this is my dream car. Yeah, don't get on me talking about, oh, Jeep is your dream car. Yes, at the time I was 18. It was my dream car, like most definitely. But now I can't get rid of this car. Literally, I'm stuck with this car, y'all. Like, I'm in so much debt right now, y'all. Like, most of my paycheck is going towards this car. Half of it is going towards this car, y'all. I'm literally struggling so bad, and I wanted to document my journey on how I'm going to get rid of it. I've been doing DoorDash to, like, pay off, you know, sometimes, 'cause, like, honestly, me working is not going to cover it up. And before y'all be like, oh, why is your hair done? Why is your eyelashes done and shit? With my DoorDash money I earned. Just because you're broke doesn't mean you can feel broke. Like, I just want to, like, feel like myself. You know what I'm saying? But my car, right? My car note is literally, guys, I cannot stress enough. It's $978 a month. Plus warranty. That's $154. So, calculate that. I'm paying $1,200 something alone on this car, y'all. Like, I'm struggling, but nobody knows I'm struggling because I was ashamed of it. Like, now it's like, I don't really care what people think. Like, y'all gonna care. It is what it is. I know y'all like, bitch, why would you do that? Y'all, I lived and I learned.
5 controversial things I am not doing while trying to pay off $10,000 of credit card debt. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jill. I'm 23. I have 3 credit cards and I am in over $10,000 of debt. And I've been trying to pay it off since the start of this year. I started the year with $12,000 in debt. I paid off over half of it, got myself into more debt, and now we're talking about it online. The first controversial thing is not getting rid of my car payment / leased car. I feel like whenever I hear anyone talk about like this kind of thing, I always hear I got rid of my car, I have no car payment, which is great if that's your situation. That is something I have chosen to not get rid of. I love my car so much. I've been paying her off for over a year now, and I'm over halfway done, and at this point I'm probably just gonna finish it off and then buy out the car at the end. So that is something I have not done. A lot of people do that when they're trying to pay off debt, so I thought that was pretty controversial. Whenever I bring it up in any like YouTube videos or anything like that, everybody like freaks out because my car payment is $537. So this is a controversial video, so get mad if you want. Second thing, which I'm not proud of this. I didn't say this is good advice. I said it's a controversial thing that I have not been doing. Not stopped using my credit cards. Let me explain. This one I'm not proud of, okay? I paid off over half my debt at the beginning of this year. January to March, I paid off 2 of my smaller credit cards and I only had my big one left. However, I ended up having to leave my job unexpectedly. I was relying on a good few $1,000s to kind of like get me through my next phase in life. I didn't have that money, and so I had to fall back on the cards, and I ended up racking on the debt again. So leads into my next one where people are probably gonna be like, this is why you should be doing this. Again, controversial things I'm not doing. The third thing is I have not been saving any money on the side. I've been using all of my money to go towards my debt payoff. So most people say to have some kind of like extra few $100s, an emergency fund, so I don't have to rely on the cards. Haven't been doing that. So that's the third controversial thing. Fourth thing is not completely getting rid of my spending. Now, I've gotten rid of most things that I spend on. I don't spend on like going out to eat anymore unless it's like a planned thing or a very rare occasional thing, but pretty much all of my money is accounted for now.
What I've learned is that most of the problems that people are actually experiencing is something that self-imposed. You know that you have a problem in terms of repayments, then you choose not to solve that issue. For example, if you have a car and you have leased a car and you can see that you are paying too much on a monthly to a point that it's putting you in debt, the best thing that you can do is just to sell that car or return it back to the dealership where it belongs and actually downgrade to something smaller. That's the problem, that people are more focused in what other people think of them, to a point that they're willing to be able to pay so much and not be able to survive on a monthly base. And at the same time, even if you are creating a debt, you shouldn't have debt that actually takes more than 50% of your salary. Now it means that you're just on survival mode. You're just going to work, and after you get a paycheck, you're just gonna give that paycheck to the next person, because basically you're working for nothing. Like you're working for nothing. I don't think that's a life that everybody wants to live that way, and people don't want to downgrade or change the way that they do things just because they think this is how life should be. Also, at the same time, why do you have so many credit card debts, and why are you opening so many credit cards? Like, man, like I feel like we need financial literacy that needs to be taught in some level at school, because people definitely, they need to learn about money in terms of how to spend money, how to treat money, and how to make money work for you. Because definitely in the internet, what we're seeing, it's not the case.
No question. What do you do when you can't pay the minimums?
So what are these payments? How many do you have?
There are several of them. They total up to $555,778.
$555,000?
Mm-hmm.
Is this all personal debt?
Personal, pretty much personal debt.
Does that include your mortgage?
No, that does not include our mortgage. And there's some land in there. There's credit cards.
What are the big chunks?
How did you get $500,000 into debt, Regina? What happened?
Just a whole lot of, a little bit of everything. You know, you stop paying attention, and you just kind of keep going. You make good money, and you think that you're invincible, and one day you turn around and that's where you are.
What's your household income?
$200.
Okay, and is it just you? Is there a spouse?
Yeah, I have a spouse.
Okay. And how much of this is kind of the consumer debt? Outside of the land, what kind of debt are we talking?
We're still at 4 because the land is only 100.
Okay. So what's the rest of the 4? I'm confused here. Is it student loans, credit cards, car payments?
Student loans, credit cards.
Medical bills, personal loans?
Yep. Medical bills, personal loans. Yep.
I'm running out of things to even throw out there, Regina.
I mean, if you have them, and that's really all, but there's just a lot of
What's the big ones? Like how much credit card debt are we talking?
The credit card debt is $50,000. Personal, the consumer loans are probably the biggest ones. Those are in the 150 range.
What was that for?
What did you buy?
Just a whole lot of stuff.
Like stuff for the house? What are we talking? I don't even, like, if you gave me $500,000, I don't know that I'd have enough ideas to spend it like that. So I'm just, I have a dark curiosity at this point.
Yeah, stuff for the house, just a lot of stupid stuff.
Okay. So is your husband on the same page that you guys are going to get intense about this and go scorched earth and live like broke people because you are broke people?
No.
He's not on the same page. What does he want to do?
No. File for bankruptcy.
And he's just resigned to go, let's just keep going into debt. It's fine. When we have to go bankrupt, we'll go bankrupt and start over.
Yep.
Oh, Regina.
Regina, don't do that.
Wow. The amount of money that this woman is actually making with her husband, she should actually be living a soft life with everything sorted out. The problem that people do is to make a debt that's greater than your yearly salary. That's the first mistake that you should never make. The debt that you make, it should never be greater than your yearly salary. unless if it's a house debt, I think even a car debt should not be greater than your yearly salary. I believe that if you are having debt, it should take just at least maybe 20% of your yearly salary. Why am I saying this? I know I'm not a financial advisor. Just keep that in note, just in case if you disagree with what I'm saying. But the reason I'm saying this is that if something is to happen or to you lose your job, you will have a bit of savings that you should be able to still cover up the debt. But if you just keep accumulating debt, it's not going to work out. And the other thing that I've realized is that the people who earn a lot, they're the same people who are in debt. Maybe it's because of poor decision making, because we do have people who are millionaires, who are billionaires, who have a lot of debt on their name. But the problem is that what people do, the ordinary people, they don't make their debt to work for them, because most of the people, they will take out debt maybe to buy stocks, to buy shares, something that will actually generate them more money. But you're actually taking out debt to renovate your house, but your house, you're staying in it, so it's not going to generate you any income unless if it's rental and you're renovating. Then on a monthly basis you are getting more money. But if you're just accumulating debt that doesn't serve you in any kind of way, such as an expensive car, that's actually a liability, and every month it's just taking money out of you, irrespective of how much you earn. Same as this woman and her husband, you're just going to end up in a lot of debt that doesn't even make sense, even when you look at the transcript, just to see where your spendings and where your salary is going. So that's just one tiny bit of advice that I would give to everyone, that when you think about taking out debt, whether credit card or irrespective of which debt, think about whether does this debt serve you in any kind of way in the long run, so that you don't end up bankrupt and you have to file for bankruptcy, just like what this woman and husband probably are gonna need to do.
I recommend that everybody have at least 2 credit cards. The first credit card is one that has a very low limit, let's say $2,000, and that's the number you use on all the online services. If they get hacked, nobody can spend more than $2,000. That's how you protect yourself. The other card is the one you use when you actually buy things that are not online, and perhaps those purchases can be much more expensive.
I'm about $3,000 in credit card debt right now. I'm 20 years old. I'm just being totally transparent. I lost my job like a few weeks ago, which I hated anyways. And although I don't really know why it happened now, I know God has a plan for me in a little bit. We're going to start a series where I just start door dashing to pay off my credit card debt. As of right now, I have the money to pay my rent because I have another job, but with this economy, one job doesn't do it. One of the cards doesn't accumulate interest, so I'm going to try to pay off the card that's like $2,000 right now, and that accumulates interest every month. Today's Wednesday, and let's see how much I can make to be able to pay off my card. I already DoorDashed Monday and I made $64, so hopefully I can make more than that today. It's like 6 right now. I still have to go get gas. I'll probably start at like 6:30. I'm hoping maybe DoorDash till around 9:30. So let's get started. I gotta go get gas. First order is $11. This is a double order, and this one's for $4 and this one's for $6. This one's for $5. This one's for $4. This one is for $6. This one's a double order and it's for $15.50. This one is for $8. It's $9.23 and I was already by my house, so I just cut it off. Made $61.50. Not terrible. Not great. That puts me at $126 for the week so far, and I've only DoorDashed twice. I owed like $3,000 something, but I paid $1,400 of it today. After that, now I just owe $2,124.25. And you minus the $26 that I've made from DoorDash this week, $1,198.25. And today is October 16th. October 31st, I plan on paying at least $15.
What this girl is doing is taking initiative, which is what we like to see. She realized that she had a problem. She has a debt problem and she wants to pay up that debt, and she decided to take up more work. Instead of taking up more debt and opening more credit cards, she decided that she's gonna take charge of her life, you know, instead of just going around and not actually doing anything, which is what we like to see, because nothing is gonna change if you don't do anything. Nothing is gonna change. No one is gonna come to pay up your debt. no one is going to come to erase that debt, and no one's going to come and help you to make better financial decisions. So this is how you change your life. You actually take charge of it and make sure that you move forward and never look back, and you learn a lesson in terms of what could you have done differently so that it doesn't happen again.
I will say that it requires discipline having a personal loan, because once you pay off that credit card and you see that available balance, it is like so easy to fall back into the trap. I did it twice. I am so happy I went with a path of using personal loans to pay off my credit card debt. I consolidated all of the credit card debt I had on 4 separate credit cards into 3 personal loans. I'll say in the history of me having personal loans, it wasn't until recently that I actually felt confident in using them. When I got my first personal loan, this was before my ADHD diagnosis. I got that one in 2020 or 2021. I paid off the credit card debt and then I just went back to using the credit card. But luckily I got my ADHD diagnosis last year and then I started medication for it. My impulsivity is a lot better and I'm really starting to build a healthier relationship with money. A lot of people have mentioned to me like opening up a 0 interest credit card and then transferring the balance over to that. But the last thing I need is another credit card. So personal loan is just what worked best for me. Also improved my credit score so much. At the peak of my credit card debt, I think I had like in the low 600s and I'm officially over 800. For me at the beginning of my personal loan journey, my personal loan was treating the symptom of debt, but not the cause. The cause was my excessive overspending and impulsive shopping. So since I've been able to tackle that portion of the equation, things have gotten a lot better. Everybody's different, but for me, I'm really happy that I chose the personal loan path. Take care. Bye.
As of today, I am $8,107 in credit card debt, not including student loans, but we're going to ignore that for a little bit longer, and I do not like it. So my goal this week and also subsequent weeks is to really grind it out and get this shit paid off. The goal is to make an extra $1,000 a week with Instacart, which would be $142 a day, so we'll see about that. But with the holidays and stuff, I feel like that's pretty doable. So I'm at Kroger, I have a Pepsi, I have a bagel, oops, added $1.89. I accepted my first order at 12:12 and delivered it about an hour later for $14, so slow start. Part of that was related to me dropping the eggs at checkout. For those doing the math, I would need to do 10 of those orders a day for 10 hours a day for 8 weeks straight in order to meet my goal, which is not going to happen. So I kind of need to change something, but unfortunately I'm at the mercy of Instacart with my orders because another hour later, I delivered my second order for $17, raising my total to $31. My third and fourth orders were really easy and took about an hour combined. One of them ordered 18 boxes of cereal, which I thought was interesting. And my fifth order was a package of adult diapers, bringing my total to $58. For my sixth order, I switched it up and went to Target to shop for a little girl's birthday party. My seventh order brought me back to Kroger, and my eighth order was the one that broke $100. I just need to do that 81 more times. I thought about stopping there because I feel really uncomfortable delivering in the dark, but then I realized it's only like 6:30, so I powered through one more order, bringing my total to 126 for the day. It's not 143 like I had hoped, but I'll make up for it tomorrow, hopefully. I will definitely start earlier.
The thing that I can say is that at least there are some people actually taking initiative and actually realize that they have a problem in terms of how to solve it, and they're doing things in a different way. What I can say is that 2 wrongs don't make a right. And what do I mean by that? What I mean in terms of the other lady who has a credit card debt and decided to take a loan to pay her credit card is that you are taking another debt to pay another debt. To me, it's not really the best option. The best option is to work hard like what other people are doing, taking other jobs, small jobs, in order to get a bit more income so that they can pay off their credit card debt. Because as soon as those people are done with their debt, you know that they are really truly done. When she's done with their credit card debt, she's gonna need to repay her loan. So basically it's just trading in one debt for another. We don't even know in terms of the interest rate. We find that the loan has a higher interest rate than the credit card, so it's just a slippery slope and it doesn't solve the real problem that she has. So let's hope that these people, they learn and they actually take better financial decisions. And yeah, in terms of credit card debt, that's all that I have today. And for those which are new, don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, I hope to see you again, and I hope that you've learned something.